you're kind of stuck in slow flight. Make a little right-hand turn here. Here's the strip. And good clearance from the trees, plenty of room left, cut the power, and let's just glide her on, because I know we're going to stop in time. And we're down. Slowing up. And full. What is up, everyone? Welcome to the first ever episode of Lucky's Landings. So in this series, I'm going to be researching the internet and finding some of the coolest landing spots around the world. Then you can watch me on these videos as I royally screw up said landings, and then you can challenge yourself at home on Flight Simulator. Since we've got this unparalleled scenic realism and everything pretty much looks true to life, I thought this was the right time to start this video series. Especially as we don't have the replay camera, so stunt videos are going to have to wait a little bit. Anyway, let's go. So in this first episode I've lined up 5 beautiful and striking airfields with some very challenging landings in the USA. First up, we're in Nevada, at a place called Barker Creek Ranch. That is November Victor 31, if you want to find that in your airport selector. And we're landing on the incredibly challenging runway 27, as opposed to the easy approach coming in from the opposite side here, where you land on 09 and there's nothing in your way. This, on the other hand, is steep terrain all the way down. And the obvious choice for this seems to be the X-Cub for, USA bush flying. It seems like a dream. Now I'm going to side slip over each crest of the hill with idle throttle, because even with full flaps and throttle on idle, she just loves to gain speed. All the X-Cub wants to do is fly, which is both a blessing and a curse. But she's also very good at side slipping, so don't be afraid to, kick that rudder and roll that aileron if you really need to lose some height and speed quick.
500.
And also on this approach, don't be afraid to get real low and dirty, because this last crest is very misleading, because it doesn't look like it's going to be too difficult to go over and to get onto the runway, but it is very disorienting, because you often think, oh, okay, I'm fine where I am now, and then you end up way too high and way too fast. As you can see, I'm doing 67 knots here, and I should be doing 10 knots onto that. So I'm going to try and keep straight and lose about 10 knots, just by keeping that nose up, a little bit of rudder, a little bit of aileron, just to keep the wings fairly level. And the final approach, just going to lean up a little bit here. That's where we want her. Now we can put in a little power for this last crest. Runway in sight, just over the nose there. Just keeping her above the stall speed. Okay, power off. Level. Get that flare nice. And very gradually pulling the elevator back just to slow us down. Full on the brakes. And I think we've done it. Unfortunately, there is no replay mode in the game yet, so I can't show you how that looks from the outside, but feel free to try it at home. And here we are. Still got plenty of runway left. Well, by the X-Cub standards, I call that plenty. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Barker Creek Ranch. So, next up, you join us at Big Creek Flying Ranch in the wilds of Georgia. This is one of my absolute favourites I've discovered so far. Discovered it completely by accident while researching the previous airport. This came up on Google Images, and I thought, as soon as Flight Simulator comes out, I have got to land there. So it's very tricky, because you've got to get it right just to get over the crest of this hill without bleeding off too much airspeed. And after this, you can kind of set up for your final approach, but it's very claustrophobic with, just descending into a valley, trees on each side. And the parameters where the airfield is aren't actually that clear. So there you go, there's the elementary school castle up close, which I just think is the most awesome thing. It's even got turrets. Oh, I love you as your AI. Still though, this is, if you compare this to, say, Flight Sim 2004 or Flight Simulator X, it would have looked nothing like this. I mean, this is pretty much how it looks in real life, which is, it's astounding. It really is. So here we are, on final approach. Just make sure I haven't been talking too much, and the flaps are most certainly all the way down, and they do seem to be, which is fantastic. I'm actually getting a little bit of a frame drop here, which is weird, because I haven't had any frame drops flying this game so far. Sorry, simulator, before I get fucked in the comments for saying that. You can see the threshold there, just past that little road. I think I'm just about on track, just keeping an eye on the airspeed here, which is probably a bit too high, so I'm going to cut the power, keep the nose up. Maybe a cheeky little side slip just before we land. I think this should come down nicely. Spool up a little bit. And there we are, we're down. I mean, obviously these buildings are drawn in by the AI. So, I would like to think in real life, those three, that's going to be my house, that's a pub, and that's a brewery. That would be perfect. And the castle where all the naughty kids go to learn at their elementary school. Yeah, anyway, this is a pretty fantastic strip, so welcome here to Golf Alpha 18, I believe, which is Big Creek Flying Ranch in Georgia. Okay, on to the next one. So, for our third airport, we have moved up to Wyoming. This is Bar Flying E, which is 2 Whiskey Yankee 8, I believe is the IKO. Now, beautiful scenery, again. This one really fascinates me, because it seems to just be somebody's backyard. It's the strip, it has no clear markings, it's very difficult to see, and it's only about 1,000 foot long, 1,010 feet. So this one is a real challenge, especially as it's so easy to get distracted by the scenery everywhere, which is, you know, pretty breathtaking. Okay, so I'm gonna have another little look, because I can't quite remember where the airport is. After this bend in the river on the right-hand side. Oh, I see it. Yeah. We are a little too high. This is it. No, is it? Oh, man. I might have actually lost the airfield.
500.
I might actually have to go around it. I might just have to find it first and then go around. It says we're right over it at the minute. Okay, let's pull up the flaps and give her a nice little turn. Oh, that is pretty. She just loves to fly, doesn't she? Tempted to land on that riverbed. It seems like a more safe airport to land at. Oh, here it is. Yep, ladies and gentlemen, that is the airstrip on the left-hand side there. See, there's a plane parked there. I'm not crazy. Okay. Dropping flaps. Nice little rudderless turn, keeping the nose up, trying not to stall, just keeping her on the edge there. Perfect. Okay, here we go. Airfield ahead, if you can call it that. And we're down. Not the prettiest landing, but it did the job, that's for sure. And here we are. As you can see, this is the runway. Starts there, and ends there. That's it. Right next to an active road. I mean, it's just an insane place to land, but also a beautiful part of the world. So, welcome to Bar Flying E in Wyoming. So, we now find ourselves just across the way from our last flight in Idaho, and we are at IKO is Sierra 68, which is Orofino Municipal Airport. It's actually an asphalt runway, which is a nice change, but it doesn't make the landing any less challenging, as you might have just got a glimpse of there. Again, in a valley, brilliant. Steep hills, brilliant. Zoom in, see if we can see it ahead of us. Yep, there it is, hidden in the shadow of the clouds. I'm just going to keep the speed ticking over, because I really don't think we need to slow down yet. unless we wanted to admire the scenery, that is, which I think we're going slow enough anyway to do. Okay, over this last crest here, let's go full flaps. I just love this flap. I mean, look at that. Left hand up to move the flaps. It's just the best thing in the world. And try not to crash into the trees in front of us while we're admiring the way the flaps go down in the cub. That's the one thing I do miss about VR, is having that awareness. That said, it wouldn't look anywhere near as good as it does here. Okay, here we go. We're on final, probably a bit high thanks to the massive hills behind us. But this looks far more like a real airport than anywhere we've been before, so I'm going to count my blessings. Going a little fast, but it doesn't matter if we land a little long. So let's take her down, nice flare. Just let her land herself. Or bounce, because she's being a motherfucker. I guess I'm not used to landing on asphalt after landing on grass so many times. That was embarrassing, but I'm going to leave it in because, you know, we all make mistakes sometimes. Okay, there we are. That was more of a scenic one than a challenging one, but, you know, beautiful place, nice place to fly, and let's have a look from the outside. So, welcome to Orofino Municipal Airport with a giant sloping river, which I've just noticed. But, yeah, when it looks this good, you really look past glitches like that, they really don't bother you. What a lovely place to be. Okay, on to the next one. The final challenge of today, we are in Oregon, landing at Oscar Romeo 74, Winkle Bar. We have had a couple of places called Bar today, a couple of places with Ranch in the name today, but this is our first Winkle of the day, and oh boy am I excited. So as you can see here, it is now the evening in Oregon, which is a little bit disappointing because I was expecting a nice sort of sunset, but it does look pretty with all of the haze and the shadows, and also makes the landing strip a little bit more challenging to find, because I think it is over there somewhere, but for the sake of this video, I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. As soon as we get here into this valley, I'm going to side slip, drop down and fly along the river, and then try and do a bit of a stunt pass, something I obviously would never try in real life, and see if we can make it over the trees into the airfield. And you never know, it might help us bleed off a little bit more airspeed. So I'm in a full side slip in a slight right hand turn at the minute as well, and to be honest, because she's just so fast, she does not want to slow down. I mean, I'm right on the edge of overspeeding here. So I'm going to try and bring her down in a full side slip and pull the nose up a bit. And hopefully, yeah, now the speed's coming off. Right rudder, left turn. Beautiful. And that just looks majestic. I wish we had a replay camera so I could see that from the outside. Okay, almost within flap range. I'm just going to keep the nose up a little bit here. And yeah, we're in the white arc, so 1 stage, 2 stages, 3 stages. Okay, full flap, spooling up to stay out of that stall range, because once you get into stall range in this plane, it's very hard to get out of it. You're kind of stuck in slow flight. Make a little right hand turn here, here's the strip. And good clearance from the trees, plenty of room left, cut the power, and let's just glide her on, because I know we're going to stop in time. And we're down, slowing up, and full back on the elevator. See, not even an ounce of worry there. Landed a comfortable way down the runway. Still got plenty of room to go, or plenty of room as far as the Cub is concerned. Welcome to Winkle Bar in Oregon. Thank you so much for watching this first installment of Lucky's Landings. I'm probably going to head down to the river there and see if I can do some fishing, or I wish I could, because this game is so realistic. It feels almost like you could just get out and do that. I mean, the possibilities are endless when the scenery is like this. I really hope you've enjoyed this video. Let me know how you get on landing at some of these airfields yourself, and I will see you in the next one.